Just gonna have a little chat today about mini or 1022 magazines. Just verifying that this is an unloaded firearm. All these magazines are empty, and the rifle is clear. It's very hard right now. This is March, or actually April of 2013, to find BX25 magazines, and so what I have been able to find recently are these. I've been picking these up at gun shows. I've basically been trading one black no window PMag for them, and people seem to be pretty okay with that trade. These are the steel-lipped Butler Creek magazines. They are labeled as working for Ruger 1022 and some other things which I'm not even really aware of what those are. So I've been thinking, oh good, these are the metal-lipped magazines. They're metal-lipped just like the standard box magazines here. And this is an older plastic-lipped one that I got when I bought the gun, actually. And first of all, let's look at the difference between these two. You can first of all see you got metal lip versus plastic lip, and you can see that actually on this Ruger factory, there's actually the metal tab here protrudes quite a bit higher than the plastic tab here for loading. The shoulders are actually, they're not even when you line up side to side like this, but actually the left shoulder is higher than the right shoulder on the factory magazine, and they appear to be relatively similar in size. The points right here are pretty well lined up, and the points up front where the kind of the I guess the rotation for this mag would be are pretty well lined up. So when inserted into the rifle, it seems to cycle just fine. I've put rounds through, and they've come in and out without problem. Same with this magazine. I actually have not fired this rifle with this magazine. Actually, I've not fired this rifle at all. So I don't actually know if this plastic lip version works, but I do know that at least the bolt appears to reciprocate. But, this is interesting, when you take the metal lip magazines here, actually let's look at the metal lip magazines real quick, kind of compare them to the standard box mag. The metal lip on these ones appear right up here, right where my finger is, goes a little bit higher than it does here on this one. The shoulders appear to be about the same height, the points seem to be the same, but it's just this little metal tab here kind of goes straight up and down as opposed to being rounded like, or kind of sloped like it is on the factory. See, the internals there look pretty similar. But something funny happens when you put this magazine into the rifle. Gets in there firmly, back on the charging handle, and the charging handle does not move forward. At first I thought, I was actually excited by this. I thought, oh, maybe it's got like last shot hold open. Nope. That's not how this works. What happens is, you pull it back, and the little metal tab, which I was pointing out earlier, right there, see where that little plus mark is? Yeah. That is actually getting locked in on the bolt. And just to show that it's not just this magazine that's a poor fit, take this other one. These were bought independently from two separate places. Interesting enough now, if I take my hand and I slap this forward, the bolt goes forward. So again, alright, try the other magazine. See if this happens again. Yep. And what is happening, if we look internally here, let's bust out a micro stream by Streamlight. You can actually see in there is that the metal follower from the magazine is actually interacting with the bottom of the bolt. It might be hard to see, but trust me, that's what's happening. So if I rock the magazine forward, I relieve that tension, and now the bolt can come home. See that? Now sometimes if you rock the magazine forward, it's closing. So what I'm suspecting is that these two metal pieces here are just slightly too high, and so what I'm going to end up probably doing is filing them down and seeing if I can't get them to work. I suspect that if I put these in the rifles enough time and I actually cycled it over the bolt and this tab would melt probably as they just shear that little bit of metal off the top, but I really don't want to shear any metal off my bolt, so I'm not going to do that. So just something to think about when purchasing these Butler Creek steel lip magazines. So you can look at the bag so you'll no fail feedless. Well, kind of failing a little bit because you can't even feed. Steel lamp, 25 rounds. Ba 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 ba. AMT Lightning and Ruger. Yep, and these were new in bag, and I have no reason to suspect that they have ever been used and were sold because they didn't work. And this is bought two separate places, so that is a pretty good sample size.